Hi guys, so I'm back with another video, and today I will be sharing with you my August wrap-up as well as my September TBR. So I read 6 books in August. It was actually a pretty good reading month for me. So the first 2 books I wanted to talk about are Caraval and Legendary. So they are part of the same series. Let's start with Caraval. So it's the first book in this trilogy, and I gave Caraval 5 stars. I loved it so much. It's very unique. So in this book we follow Scarlett and her sister Tella. So they've been living with their abusive father. Yeah, it's not a very happy life, and Scarlett thinks she can save her and her sister by getting married to a man she has never met. She only spoke to him through letters, but also since she was young, her dream has been to attend Caraval, which is like a magical performance / game. So basically the audience participates in this game, and it kind of mixes illusion with reality. So at the end of the day, you basically cannot tell what is real and what is not. Then Tella kind of tricks her into actually going there and attending the Caraval, and it gets very interesting. Like I said, I love this book, and I love Scarlett and Julian's relationship. Like, they were so cute together. I love them so much, and I feel like they are part of the reason why I give this book 5 stars, and that is very important piece of information, because in the second book, Legendary, we actually see Tella's, Scarlett's sister, point of view throughout the whole book. I heard that the last book in this series has both sisters' points of view, so I think I'm very excited for that. Now everyone is going to have a different opinion. I personally preferred Scarlett's point of view. Like, it's not like I don't like Tella. She's fine. I do like her, but like, I was not as much invested in the story as I was in Scarlett's story. So in this book we follow Tella. She has made a deal with someone, and basically in order to obtain the information she needs to participate in Caraval. And I gave this book 4 stars. I still enjoyed it a lot. I feel like the ending wasn't that shocking to me, but it does leave a lot of possibilities for the last book, so I'm very excited to read it. Okay, so the next book I read this month was a thriller called The Overnight Guest. So in this book we follow a true crime writer who decides to temporarily live in a farmhouse in order to finish writing her book. But unfortunately, there is a snowstorm, and there's not really any way for her to get out. And during that snowstorm, she actually finds a child outside, and she presumes there must have been an accident, and he managed to get out, and he tried to look for help. So she also goes looking for the car, or like anyone who could have been together with that child. And it leads her to some very disturbing discoveries. So this book is actually written from like 3 different perspectives, 3 different points in time, and at first they may seem like they're not really related, but they definitely are combined in the end in like a very neat way. And I gave it 4 stars. I definitely enjoyed it a lot. It was a well-written thriller, and I definitely do recommend it. Okay, so the next book I read is The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black. It is the last book in the Folk of the Year trilogy, and I gave it 5 stars. I must say this book is my favorite in the whole trilogy, especially the romance was so good. I mean, it is a slow burn romance, so it took some time for it to build up, but I feel like that's what makes it feel genuine. I do love a good slow burn, and I just feel like Jude and Carden, first of all, I love them separately, and I love them together even more. They're such great characters, and you can really feel that they care about each other. And of course, as always, we have a lot of political intrigue and all of that, so it's just a great end to this series. And the next book I read is like, it's not a part of this series, but it is like an additional book, and that is How the King of Elfhame Learned to Hate Stories. Basically, there's like, I gave it 5 stars, probably just because this series has a special place in my heart. I feel like you don't have to read it unless you're like a very big fan of this series and you really like Carden, because that book is basically telling different events from his life from his point of view. We get some additional Jude and Carden scenes as well, and they're also like a very beautiful illustration, so it's very quick and enjoyable read, and definitely makes me wish there were more books from Carden's perspective, because I just enjoyed it so much. Okay, and the last book I read in August is If We Were Villains. I actually made a reading vlog of me reading this. If you want to check it out, it's on my channel. I gave it 4 stars. Now, I saw so many people love this. I actually posted my review of this on my Instagram, and so many people said it was like their favorite book of the year and all of that. So this book has received a lot of love. What can I say? It was definitely beautifully written. Like, I just loved the writing in this book. But basically what this book is about is we follow a group of friends who are also theater students in their final year, and they do like Shakespeare plays. And so far they've played each year they've played very similar roles, but in their final year the casting is a bit different, and it causes tension between them off stage, and it just leads to some very unfortunate events. The ending was heart-wrenching, to be honest, and it just wrecked me to a point that I just don't think I will be able to forget this book. It is very good, and I definitely recommend it. Okay, so these were all the books I read in August. Now let's get to my September TBR. So the first book on my TBR that I already started reading is As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. This is the last book in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. I'm very excited to finish this series. It's one of my favorites, and I'm so excited that it's getting made into a TV series. It definitely deserves it. I can definitely recommend this series if you want a good YA mystery / thriller. This one is awesome. The next book on my TBR is Home Before Dark. So this one is like a horror book, which I haven't read that many horror books, but this one seems very interesting. It's basically about a haunted house, and it's definitely unlike anything I've read before, so I'm very excited to dive into this. The next book on my TBR is actually the last book in the Caraval trilogy finale, so I just basically want to finish that series. And the next book on my TBR is One of Us is Next. So this is the second book in this series. The first one is One of Us is Lying. I read it like a few months ago. So I actually didn't feel like finishing this series for a long time, but I feel like now it's time I finally finish this series. Okay, so that is it for now. I may read more books, but I might be a bit busy as well because my university starts this month and I'm a graduate student, so I might be a bit busy, but if I have more time, I will add more books to my TBR. Okay guys, so that's it for this video. Let me know your favorite read in August. Mine was definitely The Queen of Nothing. I just love this series so much. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!